What's going on, people? How's it going? I'm doing this video to talk about delusion and aspirations, because sometimes when you're reaching for really big goals or you want really big things for your life, or sometimes even just simple things, we can be a bit deluded about where we are in achieving them, or even just our own circumstances, our own reality. For example, I remember when I was working in one of my first jobs out of uni, and I had all these aspirations I wanted to travel and I wanted to work and do all these things at the same time and earn a lot of money. And it took me about a year to realize where I was working, that the probability of that happening in my current situation that I was in at that time was incredibly low. Why? Because the earning potential in the career that I was in, which was events at the time, was not massive. Like, even the MDs and the CEOs of the company, they might be on a couple 100K per year, and it would have taken them 15 to 20 years to get there. And I was in my first year, like, learning the ropes of how things work, and I had these goals that I wanted to do all this stuff within the next 5 to 10 years. So there was a big disconnect in that it was a completely unrealistic goal and aspiration for the situation that I was in. Does it mean that it was not possible if I were to change my circumstances? No. Like, it's completely possible, but I realized that a lot would have to change. And sometimes I think it's easy to have these big ideas, especially when you watch loads of motivational videos and all these inspiring podcasts and things about how you can just crush it if you have discipline and you put in the work all the time. But the reality is, you want to work smart as much as you want to work hard. So in that example that I just gave you, it wouldn't have mattered how hard I worked in that role or how much I impressed my bosses and the people working around me, or how many times I got promoted within those 5 to 10 years. The likelihood of me getting to CEO level within that time period, to have that level of earning that I wanted, was impossible. So it meant that I had to really drop my ego and just be like, hey, I know where I want to be and what I want to get, but what I'm doing right now is not enough. And it wasn't a case of not working hard enough, it was a case of potentially working on the wrong things. And so that's when I started down the journey of looking at side hustles and getting into trading, and which eventually led a few years later to freelancing and setting up my own business and working for myself. But I had to go through that horrible experience of just being like, wait a minute, I'm never gonna get where I want to be if I continue doing what I'm doing. And that's the expression that they always say. The crazy thing to do is to keep doing the same thing and expect different results. So, sometimes you really just have to drop your ego and just be like, hey, I need to change something up here. I need to do something different. And sometimes that means acquiring new knowledge. Sometimes that means changing the location that you're in. Sometimes it means changing jobs. Sometimes it means being humble enough to ask for help and ask for people that have already achieved what you're after, and have already got to where you want to get. Because the worst thing you can do is take advice from people that haven't got the results that you want. So in that scenario, I had to look for mentors. I had to look for people that had built the life they wanted, that were traveling, that did have their own businesses, that did have the level of income that I wanted. And I had to learn from them and copy them and start to implement good habits and disciplines and changes in my life to get me where I wanted to get. And I still have to work hard to do it, and I still work hard now, but I had to work smart, and I had to align my actions with the goals that I wanted. So that's a little bit of a rant, but yeah, I hope that helps for whoever needs to hear it. And yeah, stay smart when you're working, and have a good day. Peace.